all 50 US states. Today I'm in Weekapaug, Rhode Island, and Rhode Island is surrounded by water, well, almost surrounded by water. It's just like teeny tiny, and it's mostly surrounded by water. So we are going to paint another beach with the sunset because it's beautiful, and the sun goes down really fast here, so we're going to have to be quick with this and a little bit more impressionistic. And before I start, I want to give a shout out to all my createfulART members for making this video possible. There's a link in the description where you can become a member too. Let's get started. To make this super quick, I started out with a painted canvas. And all I used was my brilliant blue and my white, and I just gave it a nice coat of the brilliant blue so I wouldn't have to worry about this step. I also started out with a palette that was full of the colors. So I'm just getting the composition that I want. I use my fingers, that's just what I do. And I make a square, and I'm going to do this mostly sunset, but the sun's not setting yet, so we're going to have to do some wait time on this and catch it when it's ready. But what I'm doing is I'm seeing where in my composition would I put the land. It's going to be about right here, and I'm just going to put that in. I'm using my gray. So for this, I'm going to talk about my brushes mainly because my patrons want to know about them. So I'm using a flat brush for this because there's going to be some edges to it, and it's about a ½ inch. And I'm going in and I'm just getting the basics. I'm not going to worry about the details right now. So I'm getting the basic size of it, what it looks like in the distance. So there's some texture back here, and it's going to go all the way across. So I'm going to show that here. Okay, I'm putting some dark in there right now, and these are the houses that are off in the distance. Okay, and the reason why I use this flat brush is because it's really easy to make a square where the houses are and to make those angles. Okay, now down here on the bottom, there's mist, and so what I'm going to do to show that is I'm going to just very, very lightly go over this with my brush. Barely. And spread that color down here. And then I pull off my color, add a little bit of water, and I'm bringing this down to show that this is misty down here. Okay, so the mist is picking up a gold as well. So I'm going to take my gold and I'm going to put that down right here, and a little bit of white. I'm just going to make sure I spread that. Now I need to know where the rocks are going in, and that's the next level here. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my silver and some black, and I'm putting in that next layer that's right here, and it starts about right here and it goes back, and I'm still using my same brush. From the corner of this comes in the next layer, which has some bushes and stuff, and it's going to cover this up. And I'm just going to start with my black. I'm still using my flat brush, and I'm just going to come in here and go over that. And where I stop things is where I see that it's going to go into another shape, so I'm following the shapes of everything. Okay, and then this flattens out, and there's rocks behind here. So I'm showing the flatness, and then I'm going to put in these rocks. Now notice with my brush, when I'm using a flat brush and I have a round rock, I'm using a twisting formation with my brush to make it round. To give it more levels, I just grab some of my gray, and that makes it appear like there's different levels of these rocks. The sand color is mostly like this khaki tan with a little bit of blue. So I'm going to take my bronze and I'm going to add, oh, got a little bit of green in there. I'm going to take my bronze and add a little bit of the blue and a little bit of my gold and a little bit of my yellow and make a khaki color. Add a little bit more white in there. Okay, and this blue underneath it is going to show too as well. Okay, Okay, so now what I'm doing with the same brush, I mean I use the same brush, is I'm doing this blot technique. And what I'm going to do is just show where the plants are. So I'm just giving an idea with the texture of where these plants are. And then I'll go over it with the light when I'm ready for that. So now I need to really focus on these rocks again and make this little curvature that comes in here and then comes down here. Okay, so for larger spots, I take my bigger flat brush, and I also use this for blending, and I just put that in like this, and I go back and forth until I feel like it's blended. The moment we've all been waiting for is this sunset, and you never know what it's going to be. So today it's got a little orange in it, so I'm really gonna grab my cadmium red, mostly orange through here. I'm gonna take a lot of water on my brush, and a lot of that white. Careful of my city here. When you have stuff that's mostly down, because it's not gonna mix with the blue and it's not gonna blend the same, just take some water in your paper towel and you're gonna blend it. Okay, see how that's blending? It's pretty fast. It's blowing off of everything. Oh, that's just pretty. Orange in there. Here. Okay, I'm going to look on this water and see what the color is. Very purpley. Purple clouds, now I'm gonna get them because I like them better right now. So now the brush that I use usually for this is this filbert brush, and the reason why I use the filbert brush is because it's round at the top, and so I get round shapes instead of those jiggity jaggedy shapes. Okay, and these are kind of like cotton candy clouds, so I come in here with my finger and soften those edges. I use my fingers a lot when I paint. Okay, I literally had to do that in 5 minutes. I had 5 minutes to paint that and blend that and get that down. So I will come in here and I will tweak it and I will make it what I remember seeing and just make it my own, basically. But that's what I got from it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm blending and blending it into that city back there. And I'm barely putting pressure on my brush. Okay, and there's always that line where it meets the island or the peninsula or whatever's going on over there. Okay, so I'm putting in some waves. And basically what I'm doing is I'm putting in the shadow that would be on the waves, and then I'm just spreading that out, and then where the highlights would be, I'm putting the highlights on. So I'm doing this with that same brush. I mean, I could use almost the same brush for the whole time. And I'm gonna put in the lines that come off of these waves like that and giving it that curve. So there's a whole bunch of waves, and back here behind the waves is usually lighter. And then through here, I make those striations. And I can always redo my rocks. It's no big deal, see? Really easy. So, as long as I just keep it the way I want. So this wave kind of goes like this, and it comes around like that. Okay, and here, it's very, very light, and I'm just coming in here and giving it texture. Notice that I'm doing that scribble motion like I usually do. Just back and forth, trying to make it so it doesn't look perfect. And these rocks over here are not finished. Don't worry about those right now. Okay, and then the water just glows right here. So I'm going to take that yellow, and it's going to start glowing when it gets down through here. Okay. And then it blends into this right through here. And the reason why it's glowing is because that orange is hitting it right there. As always, you need to step back for the final step and tweak it how you want, make it your own. I want to give a thank you to all my CreatefulART members for making this video possible. It's because of them that I get to share this with you. So if you want to become a CreatefulART member, you get lots of perks and fun things from me. There's a link in the description below. I will see you in my next video.